What's going on, Animal Crew? Stefi Cohen here. Today we're going to be talking strictly about nutrition, and I'm going to be taking you through a day of eating for the purposes of cutting weight. So as you guys know, I'm now preparing for a fight in boxing, and this is a weight restricted sport as well, very similar to powerlifting, so nothing that I'm not used to doing. But I've been walking around a little bit lighter. I just have a few pounds to cut in preparation for the fight. So I'll show you guys more or less what my diet looks like and my exercise routine in addition to that. So first thing in the morning, I've been doing 3 times a week of fasted cardio to burn some extra calories. I use this Stairmaster thingy, turn the TV on or put some music on or a podcast, and it's really easy. It's honestly meditative, and it just sets the right tone for the rest of the day. The importance of calories out, so that just means, the exercise that you're doing in addition to a well-balanced diet that puts you in a calorie deficit, and that's all great, but in reality, how long are you actually going to be training? Maybe an hour and a half a day. You have to also take into consideration the other 22, 23 hours of the day. And you have to account for that in terms of what you're putting inside your body. So weight loss and weight cut and shredded abs only possible if you are in a calorie deficit. So the way that you do that is you monitor your calories in, calories out. So it's a lot easier to estimate how many calories you're putting into your body by weighing and inputting in a log like MyFitnessPal everything that you're eating, so you can have data and a better, much more accurate and better estimate of the amount of calories that you're consuming, so that you can adjust your diet to the effects that it's having on your body. So at the end of the week, after weighing yourself every single day, if you notice that your weight has been trending upwards, that means that you've been eating in a surplus of calories. So you either have to decrease the amount of food that you're eating or increase the amount of exercise that you're doing in order to achieve weight loss. So that's why having data is so important, especially if you're somebody who just started their fitness journey and you don't know much about the calories in food and how many calories your body requires to function, perform on a daily basis. Then it's especially important for you to weigh and calculate your macros and what you're eating for at least a period of time, 1 or 2 months, so that you understand the portions that you need to be eating in order to lose weight or gain weight, whatever it is. So first meal of the day, I'm gonna start with a American breakfast from Icon Meals. So I feel like I have to explain myself as to why all of my meals are frozen and prepackaged. I'm not much of a cook myself. I can cook, okay? I can do it. If I wanted to, if I put my mind to it, I could do it, all right? Let me just get that out of the way. And in fact, hey, Hayden can tell you that I cook pretty good, especially Venezuelan food. Oh my God, to die for, I'm telling you. But, I don't have patience. I live a hectic lifestyle. I'm in and out of the house all the time, and I just don't have patience to be chopping onions and steaming broccoli and stir frying garlic and seasoning the chicken. That's honestly, it's insane the amount of time that would take. You know how many other things I could do with my time rather than do that. Okay, so that's why this is like this. So American breakfast, we're gonna start with 320 calories, 25 grams of protein, 23 grams of carbs, 14 grams of fat, 3 grams of fiber, 500 milligrams of sodium. Pretty solid breakfast, if you ask me. Really good start of the day. So all we gotta do, boom, put in the microwave. All right. First meal. Good. All right, American breakfast with, obviously, cold brew on tap, because that's how we do it around this area in the Beef Castle. For those who don't know, the Beef Castle is my house. It has coffee on tap, nitro cold brew coffee on tap. Doesn't get much better than that. Okay, moving on to the next meal of the day. So this will be my pre-workout meal. It has, you know, solid amount of proteins and carbs. Actually, a little bit low in the carb area, so maybe I'll add some fruit to that meal, or even just a tablespoon of honey. You know, I'm not a person with a big appetite, so I just see it as, okay, how many calories and of what composition of food do I need to be eating in order to be able to sustain my workout, my performance, and feel good. So if I wanted to add some more carbs to this meal, probably just maybe add some honey in my coffee, a tablespoon of honey, that's 16 grams of carbs, and then complete the meal that way. All right, so for lunch, we're gonna have bison patties. These patties are 4 ounces each, so it's a pretty good portion. It's about 25 grams of protein per patty. Makes it solid. Probably have 2 of those for lunch. Gonna pair that with some rice and vegetables. Then for dinner, gonna have shredded chicken. Probably gonna saute this with some soy sauce and this zucchini. And for carbs, we're gonna have some sweet potato. I'm gonna add to this meal also a couple hard-boiled eggs to increase the amount of fat content in the meal, because the chicken breast doesn't have much. So wanna make sure that I'm consuming at least 20 to 30% of my total daily calorie intake in the form of fats, just for performance, health benefits, and yeah. So then, you know, likely because I don't eat much throughout the day, because like I said, I don't have that big of an appetite. I'm walking around all day long, I'm moving, I forget to eat. Likely I'm gonna have to snack after that. So it's usually dinner, I break it down into a 3-course meal that I have across the entire night. So starting at 6 p.m., that's the first course. So that's gonna be the chicken, veggies, and potatoes and eggs. And then likely I'll have something like a pizza, you know, but not your average greasy New York pizza. I'm gonna have this pizza that, look how thin it is. It's a thin, super thin crust pizza. It really isn't greasy at all. Yeah, is it, am I gonna be estimating more than usual? How many calories there are in here? Yes. Is it the end of the world? No. For some it might be, not for me. But I trust that by the end of the day, I've still underate comparatively to the amount of exercise that I do in a day. So I'm pretty confident that I can have, you know, a treat or two at the end of the day if I'm still hungry. So I'll have the pizza, and maybe I'll add some cinnamon walnut loaf, cake, whatever, pound cake, whatever you call this, from Trifecta into there, because it has some protein, it has some fiber, and it's pretty clean, won't make me feel bad at night. So that's it for the food that I would eat in a day. Obviously, give or take, maybe add some full calorie Gatorades here and there if my training is really intense. Oftentimes I have poke in the middle of the day if I get really, really hungry in between my first and second training sessions. So as you can see, it's a little bit different from, you know, a typical cutting for the purpose of bodybuilding diet. I don't have to be that extreme in that precise in what I eat. I just have to make sure that at the end of the week, I'm in a calorie deficit or at maintenance, so that I'm not putting on weight, because I compete in a weight restricted sport. But it doesn't have to be, you know, that rigid in terms of what I eat in a day, and making sure that all my meals are the same every time and that I weigh every single thing I put in my body. I have a little bit more leeway because I don't have to look a certain way. I just have to make sure that I stay within my body weight range for competition. And then if I'm trying to cut a specific amount of weight, then make sure that that scale is trending downwards. So I hope that that all makes sense. I did want to add one more tip for you if you're trying to actually 2 more tips if you're trying to cut, that have really, really helped me in the past and continue to help me, is make sure that your protein intake is relatively high. So most people aim for about 40% of their total calorie intake to be coming from protein. Another easy way to do it is to just do your body weight in pounds So for example, if I weigh 130 pounds, I'll eat 130 grams of protein per day at the very minimum. So that should be the minimum amount of protein that you eat in a day. The reason why is, especially if you're in a calorie deficit, protein is what allows you to maintain your lean body mass, and also keeps you satiated, and also has the highest thermic effect of food. So that means that actually when you eat it, you end up expending a solid amount of calories just by processing it. So make sure that your calories are at least that. You could even add 20 or 30 grams over that if you wanted to, of protein. The other thing is making sure that you're going on walks throughout the day. So what people don't realize is that there's a non-exercise activity thermogenesis component to dieting. All this means is the amount of energy that you expend on a daily basis just by being alive and doing your daily activities, like going up and down stairs, or even just sitting down and fidgeting. All of those things burn calories and can actually make a massive difference. So just by adding 3 to 4 or 3 to 5 10-minute walks in a day, at a reasonable pace, not a leisure walk, but a little bit faster pace than your normal walking cadence, you can easily add on top of all of your exercise another 400 to 600 calories of expenditure just by walking. Not to mention that it'll help you digest better after eating, especially if you schedule these walks right after you eat, and it will improve the partitioning of the food, so the way that it's digested and going into your muscles and actually being utilized to create energy in your body. So keep in mind those 2 tips for when you're cutting. Make sure that your protein intake is high, and make sure that you're going on frequent walks throughout the day rather than having to kill yourself in a cardio machine every single day. You can also spread that out across the day, and not have to suffer that much. So I hope that all made sense. As always, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for supporting me and Animal. I encourage you guys to go to animalpack.com and get all the products that I use in my stack, because they are amazing and they make a massive difference. So if you have any other comments for me, any questions, please feel free to drop them down below. Make sure that you subscribe to the Animal channel, and you know where to find me. So as always, thank you guys so much, and I'll catch you on the next video. Bye. Gordon Ramsay couldn't make it to this video, so I'm gonna be the substitute chef for today. Okay.